All right, welcome back, everybody. You are watching the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. We're also on Talk City 91.1 FM and streaming live on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Now I'm going to speak with a young gentleman who is engaged in business. He's an entrepreneur, and the focus of his business is personal development. Now with me this morning is Daniel Francis. He's a personal development coach, and we are speaking about his business as well as his story as to how he came about doing that. Name of this business is Rebit Limited, yes. And with me again, Daniel Francis. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here, Carrie.
Yeah,
and
nice
actually, it's actually a family business as well. So
right.
My parents have been running this for more than a decade.
Really?
I just came along and decided that, I want to deal with the niche that is young adults.
And you've taken the reins of it, so to say.
And it's actually really funny and strange how it happened because...
Well, I need to know more then.
Because I actually wanted to be a doctor, I
right?
did science subjects in Cape. I had a great blessing of going away and studying in the States.
Right.
And the whole time I'm just doing pre-med, working my butt off and working these science subjects. But then I came back to Trinidad and I realized, it's time to apply to med school.
Right.
And I just don't know what it was. Like, first year, did up the application, couldn't send it in. So this is real weird because this is something I've been preparing for my whole life. And
why couldn't you send it in?
At the time, I just couldn't figure it out. But what I ended up doing was just living life, going to work, paying bills, going home sleeping. And I just realized I went into this weird
default. A cycle.
It's like, like you're on automatic mode. Yeah. You're just going through the paces, as they say, going with the flow. And what I realized was that I didn't know what I want to do. I didn't know what my life's purpose was. And because I didn't know what that was, I just felt lost, I felt stuck. And I realized I wasn't the only one.
So you didn't feel like your purpose was being a doctor?
No, I realized that my whole life I was saying that I want to help people.
Right.
But I never got really specific about what that meant.
Okay.
So you're doing science subjects, doctor sounds enticing.
Right, yeah.
And you just go for it. But when it really came down to it, I couldn't jump in. Luckily for me, I had a really good relationship with my parents and I said, I need help. And again, lucky for me again, they do this work where it's leadership development and personal development. So they said, we have this program for young people called Plan of Action, do it. I know nothing really about no personal development. I just trying to make the best of my life.
Right.
I did it and I realized that, wow, like if you don't understand what your purpose is, it's very easy to get stuck and just get stuck into this little default setting where you're just going through the pieces.
I like that term you use, the default setting.
Yeah. We actually call it, you basically are moving towards your default future, where, as they say, you go with the flow, whatever comes, whatever doesn't, it's whatever.
Right.
But it's only when I decided and made a conscious decision to say, well, I want a bright future. And then I said, I had to define it. I said, okay, well, what does a bright future look like? For me, because of course my bright future will be different to yours.
Yes, correct.
Right? So I started defining it in really specific terms, planning around it. I had to change my whole mindset, my habits. Basically, all the different things and experiences I went through, I had to kind of focus everything on this ideal I had for myself in the future.
Right.
And it just kind of clicked. It just made sense because I was going through the struggle and I saw a whole bunch of my friends, a whole bunch of young people going through these similar struggle.
Right.
Who's a lawyer, but struggling to actually get the job done, who's just working a simple bank teller job and is miserable every day.
Right.
We were just lacking that understanding of what is our purpose. And
for young people, I have a question because you said something earlier about, you had to change your mindset, change your habits.
Yeah.
So how did you go about changing your mindset from being in this stuck position, on your default setting, to being one that is doing things toward your purpose?
Right.
Because of course, it doesn't happen overnight, but how do you start the process?
No. I think the process really just starts by saying, okay, I'm not happy where I currently am. What more do I want? And then digging deeper, not just giving it a surface of, oh, I want to be happy, or I want to be rich, or I want to be successful. Really decide, what is it that you want? And then it's just so interesting. When you put things out there and you say, this is what I want,
right?
They say the universe brings it to you.
Right.
And that was happening. I started seeing books that taught me more about personal development. Of course, I did the program and I started doing it with young person. I started to see that persons really needed this type of help. And you get that kind of that divine intervention, that things are just lining up and you're going in a particular direction and you start to realize that it's working. And especially when it aligns with your purpose, it's like a euphoric type of feeling.
Right.
I can be tired, dead tired. I see about 10 clients for the day. And when I see that last one, it could be like 8, 9 p.m., I just feel energized.
Right.
And it's just a real beautiful thing to know that what you're doing is what you truly love.
Definitely.
And I think everybody should experience this.
And just to summarize, like what tips you would give to, we don't have a lot of time,
Yeah,
but
no problem.
just to summarize, bullet points, what, let's say 5 tips you would give to a young person watching right now who may need to hear this important message?
I think 1, don't keep your goals in your head, like actually write them down and make clear, concise steps. 2, have a positive attitude because there will be obstacles and you have to overcome them. So once you have a positive attitude, you can do that. Be very self-motivated. Make sure that what you're doing aligns with your purpose. Have a clear idea of what your purpose is.
Right.
And don't be too hard on yourself because it is a journey. Success is a journey. So if you fall, if you misstep, if it doesn't go your way, it's okay. Just keep going because you know that this is what you want for yourself. So eventually you will get there.
And that's a perfect way to end this. I want to thank you so much, Daniel Francis.
Problem.
And if you want to find out more, go on social media and find Rebit Limited. I guess Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, REBIT Limited, because a lot of people say Rebit, but it's Rebit.
All right, so thank you again, Daniel, for joining us this
here,
morning. And again, some great information for not only young people, for anybody who just needs to find that purpose.
Indeed.
All right, so now we're going to take a short break and come right back. Stay with us.